What?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
What happened?
This is starting off
You
well.
froze again,
Right out-
Ty.
right when you froze
Right
again.
out there.
All right.
Right out the
gate. All right. We're going to have fun tonight. Welcome to
Yes,
Arcades
we
Anonymous. I am your host, Nerd Lounge Master 84. I got a full jam-packed show for you tonight. I am looking forward to this. Let me bring in on my host while my camera is still working, and hopefully everybody were and not froze. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let me go around the horn.
Brady
Michael B,
bunch.
the Game Genie.
The Brady
What's going
bunch.
on, my friend?
Not much, man. Same shit, different day.
Well, I am glad you were here. I am glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Always love having you on the show when you got a minute to hang out with us. So appreciate you as always.
You're lucky. You're lucky I have several minutes because that's got to be the longest intro I've ever seen in my entire life.
No, that ain't
You
as long
thought
as
about
Gamer
extending
Dudes.
it?
Gamer Dudes.
Yeah,
a
we
lot
thought
longer.
I thought about adding a few more minutes. Yeah.
Gamer Dudes is 90 seconds. That's like a 3-minute
No, you got
timer, isn't it?
Man,
Yeah,
we
but
just-
it's a
I just
badass
love the-
intro, though.
We love the badass intro, so that's where we're at.
Well, we're in between that and Glenn's.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Glenn had like a 35-minute intro one time. I can't remember what it was. Like there was parts of a TV show in there and everything.
Plus, we're
Uh,
old. We need time to like go to the bathroom,
Yeah,
relieve
exactly.
ourselves and stuff.
Yeah, drink,
Yeah, we gotta
drink whatever
freshen up.
drinks we need to drink, freshen up. Yeah, it's all good. Howdy, BPR, back in the house. Good to see you, sir.
I know it's been 2 weeks since I've seen you guys. Sorry, I've been absent, and now I got COVID, so
Oh,
Oh,
no,
buddy.
man, seriously?
not feeling too well. But I'm glad to be.
You
with
work from home.
Yeah,
How's-
How'd you
Kids,
get
right?
it?
kids get it from the damnedest places.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Legends Ultimate looking good behind you, my friend. Nice to see that built and ready to go. It's perfect. Absolutely.
Oh, is that the new one?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
easiest, quickest build I've ever had.
Oh yeah, it's a really easy build. Did you roll back the firmware?
No.
And you got Robotron working on it, no problem?
Yep. No
Awesome,
problem.
awesome.
All right.
Works like a charm.
J Pixel in the house. Good to see you. We streamed like Monday, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. That was
I
fun.
streamed right
Had a
before the
blast.
show too.
Yeah.
I put together something too.
Yeah, I see that. Nice Miss Pac-Man that you got for how much was that again? $200 and something dollars?
Total was like $234 or something like that from Sam's Club.
Can't believe
No, not
it.
Sam.
Can't
Walmart.
believe it.
Walmart.
Walmart. Yeah, Walmart special.
Walmart
So, yeah.
special.
Yeah, definitely.
Glad that you're here, my friend.
I appreciate it. I
Appreciate
appreciate
all
tonight.
your
This is
hard
gonna be
work.
fun.
Yeah, this is going to be super fun. James Hates Everything. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Well, thanks for having me. I was a little disappointed because I was told there'd be coffee and donuts at this AA meeting, and there aren't.
Just really sad stories, James.
Yeah.
Well, MichealB here got here
Uh-oh.
first, so
He was in charge of bringing the coffee and donuts.
no, he ate them all.
Oh, he ate them all.
Oh, boy.
Joe Cade, what's up?
Thank you, Joe Cade, 1999 for some fist bumps. We appreciate that, brother. Good having
Yeah,
you.
that's awesome. We
in the
appreciate it, man.
chat, my friend. Yeah, really appreciate you. Stock Jock, good to see you again, sir.
Oh, it's great to be here, man. Great to be here. It's going to be a great night. And just remember, the late 70s console stuff is the best that was ever made.
I don't know about that. I believe there was
Yeah.
a crash shortly after that stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you have to bring it up.
Yeah. We're glad you're here as always, my friend. And look who decided to take off his hiatus.
Who's this
Galaga
guy?
88. Good to see you again, sir. Look at that. I'm going to put you full screen real quick.
Yeah, look at that couch,
Let's
man.
see.
He got
Look
the
at that couch. Man, you just
Really stepped it up,
Aaron,
man.
you're Outer
My-
Banks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a sweat. It's cold down here in the basement. I was like, I gotta put on a sweater. It's the only one I had nearby. I was like, I'll just put this on. But
Oh man,
glad to be back. I finally found a chair that fit my head, my ego. That's what this is.
Oh, the,
Glad
the
you're back,
background's
Philly.
looking nice. The arcade's
Yeah.
looking real nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're looking
yeah.
you're looking good. Good to see you back. Good. We missed you so much, dude. I'm just ecstatic to have you back in the fold, as they like to say.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
All right. And G.I. Joel, my friend, good to see you again.
Todd, how's it going?
You look relaxed. You looked relaxed, my friend. How was your day?
It was long. Working in the workshop.
Well,
tore the CNC apart. I got quite a mess going on in there.
You broke apart. I saw that. Yeah.
For those of us that are waiting for stuff, that's not good news.
Tap on it. So
I'm sorry. What'd y'all say? You froze on me too. No. Okay.
Wasn't important.
It's big enough I can nap.
Wasn't
on
important.
It, so.
Oh, your CNC machine's big enough you can nap on?
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'll take the little one.
Matt.
I sold the little one actually.
Oh.
I sold it to Todd's old long lost grandpa.
Oh, nice.
Remember?
Oh yeah. Multicade Matt, good to see you again, my friend. Welcome to the show. How was your week?
It's been nonstop. So yeah, like Monday went to bed at 4:30, and then the last night went to bed at 3:30. So yeah, I'm a little asleep, but I'm just blessed to be here and hang out with some great people. Turn the world off. Yeah.
Why are you going to bed so late?
We're just in the middle of a migration from, we're going to legacy brocades to Cisco ASRs at work.
Oh yeah, so work. I usually stay up till 3:30 in the morning because MG needs me to play golf with him. Or
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah,
Or need somebody to talk to to console them. And
I work for a small ISP, and so people don't like to lose their internet in the middle of the day. So
they don't.
When people are sleeping, that's when I have to work. So easy peasy. It pays the bills.
Yep, I would agree with that statement, Ridge. Multicade Matt is the most pleasant guy in this community. So,
I
you don't want to get him riled up.
I think he's a little disrespectful. Like, after a while, you assume you're friends, but he keeps saying yes, sir, and that's not a way you greet a friend. I mean,
well, why would he assume that you are friends with him?
Well, that's true. That's the other thing.
Hey, there's my friends and Multicade.
And Multicade. Next time I see you, I'm going to hug you really, really hard.
Mrs. G.I. Joel says we're all pretty awesome. So that's
appreciate
pretty cool.
that.
The producer.
Thank you.
Producer in the house.
We love you.
Oh, man. Thanks.
The Chicago arcade guy?
B. Kirby, thank you very much for those gifted subs.
Yeah, thank you for gifting. We appreciate that for sure.
I think by now everybody should have one.
Yeah, I would concur. I would concur. Well, guys, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. I am looking forward to just talking about video games and consoles and handhelds. So, however you guys want to start this party, let's do it.
You're in charge.
Yeah, Todd, you.
Everybody probably.
Here, I'm your host, and I'm running everything. But
he's intimidated by these two other YouTubers on here. So
Multicade Matt is
what it is?
Guy, right?
Oh man,
yeah.
Oh man.
How about I'm sure everybody tuned in and watched on Monday, but there maybe is one or two people that didn't. What do we maybe recap the brackets? What's going on there?
Roll that beautiful footage, right? Should we roll that?
Should we roll the footage?
Roll the footage.
All right, here
roll the footage.
Gamers, it's time for you to decide. Who will be number one?
I got to tell you guys, that's an awesome video. Just a little loud. It's just too darn loud, guys.
Yeah.
It was a lot louder, so you're welcome. we just figured out how to use the volume control on that thing. So definitely. I don't know. You, Todd, you want me to explain it? Okay.
Yeah,
right,
go
you
ahead.
guys-
Hit.
All right. So if you guys didn't know what we're doing today, we're doing our own version of March Madness. I figured, hey, why don't we come up with something that we could all, as a community, do together? And I said, why don't we have a console bracket? And then I said, all right, we do that. And then on my channel, we did the handheld bracket. So both of these are going on at the same time. If you go into our Discord, we have a thing called the brackets. And you can go in there, and I have the polls are usually on for each YouTube channel. So you can go there and vote on each section. I'm a little behind right now, so we might have to catch up, Todd. We might have to put some in the chat today.
Yeah.
To get catched up, because there's a lot to get through. We got to get to the Sweet 16. Somehow by the end of the week, maybe we'll carry that over because at the end, it gets less and less. But it's kind of the same format. You're gonna hate what I put in. Nobody's gonna be.
It's true, Arcade Amy.
Nobody's gonna decide like how I did it, but I just figured let's do it and see what people think. So that is what it is. It'd be cool if we can get maybe Mike or James or one of you guys to do one.
I don't know anything about consoles. I have no idea.
What about handhelds?
Seriously? Maybe a little bit about
He's not
handhelds.
MichealB, the console genie at all.
No.
Okay, we're all here to
Yes,
learn.
yes.
You have never heard of a console. Mike, the bad guy, he was on the show, and we went with the handholds with him, and he shocked me on some of his picks. So, and when you get done with your bracket, there's a link you can download and do it yourself and post it on Discord, your bracket, and we can kind of look at what you guys did too. And that's really what I enjoy watching and seeing is what everybody's choices are and why they thought which one would go which. And Shotgun Sean was, while I was live streaming earlier, he was yelling at me that he's like sat there on his phone just staring at because he couldn't put between NES and N64. So he was just really mad that those two were going head to head. So so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and by the way, it's in the AA Discord, and there's a brackets. The brackets, I think is what it's called,
brackets.
right? The brackets. So go and post your bracket there.
And so far in the consoles, Atari 2600 has beat out Vectrex, and the television has beat out the Odyssey 2.
Oh yeah. All right.
And then in the handheld so far, Game Boy beat out the NVIDIA Shield Portable, and the ROG Ally beat out the TigerGame.com. And
why is the TigerGame.com even in there?
You have never heard of the TigerGame.com?
Oh no, I know all about it. Why is it in there?
It's handheld. It's all the handhelds
I'm
throughout
aware.
the history.
I'm aware.
And then PlayStation PSP lost to the Ambernick SP. So that was a shocker to me. I thought the PSP would go farther. So that's where we are right
so
now.
you're just putting bootleg handhelds in there, like it's
That's
Hell.
cheating.
Thank
Joel,
you.
Joel
That
said
was
it
my-
last week.
Yes,
Yes.
it is in there. But you have your. But the thing is, I just say it's the the original against the multicade. So that's kind of the argument that's the same as everybody's saying about that. So
I don't know about you guys. You got some interesting rules.
It's all that guy. It's all that.
Yeah,
guy.
it's all me.
That guy,
you can
yeah.
blame me. You can hate me for it. And guess what? You can vote it out as soon as you want to. This is all.
That's true.
Everybody has their own opinion. You have your options. If you don't think it should be in there, just vote it right out of there. So that's that's how I figured. If you guys don't.
I have
I
a
had to
feeling
come
we'll
up
see
with-
his opinion tonight.
I had to come up with 32, and you go try to find 32 handhelds and see how you guys do.
It's like 17 Game Boys.
They're
Nintendo
all
Game
in.
Boys.
They're all in.
Two of them made the list.
They all made the list.
He's got the red one, the blue one, the green one. He's got all the different colored
I
ones
had to come
too.
up with 32, and I'm like, Tiger.com. Why the heck not? These guys wanted to be
Tiger.com
put
is
in-
more eligible than Ambernick. Like I don't. Did you put a Soldier Boy in there too?
I should have.
Oh boy.
Nomad, that's close enough.
Yep. That's the only one that you probably will be voted out. That's what it is.
All right.
All right, Todd. How do you want to do this?
I want to get MichealB to do his. I really do. MichealB, are you up for it?
How do I do it? Explain this to
Oh,
me.
I'll-
I'm 5.
Okay.
Yep.
You choose between two things.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's
And
bring,
let's keep
let's
going.
bring up one. Let's bring
Alright,
up one, and he can choose. And
Do you
go
want to
through
do
it.
the
an idea.
consoles? You want to do the consoles?
Yeah. Let's do consoles.
Okay. Let me. I thought I had it up, but obviously I didn't. Okay. All right.
There we go.
Need
All
the
right,
music
Mr.
again.
Mr.
Okay.
Game Genie.
That sucks because I don't
right,
really
here's
have
your
any experience. I don't have any real experience with the Vectrix, so I feel like this is already an unfair fight. But the Vectrix was super cool. It's one of the things I've always wanted to see, like these home arcade companies or recreation companies do like a version of. I always thought that would be like straight fire, like you know what I mean, modern day Vectrix. But I mean, it's almost impossible not to go with the 2600 there. How many 2600s do you have in this? Do you have the 2600 Vader?
Just one.
Okay. The 2600. Okay, so I'm going to give you a disclaimer of ones that didn't make the list. So what didn't make the list is the 3DO, the Atari 5200 didn't make it, the Atari XEGS, which is a computer console combo, the Commodore Amiga 32 CD32, the Fairchild F, and the Philips CDI are honorable mentions. So,
Okay, I'm gonna
wait, and one more.
Either, did you?
They lost the wild card rounds.
Yeah. Wait.
next
there's
year-
one-
next year they
according
might
to
have a
Matt,
plan.
there's one more, Jay.
What's that?
According to Matt, there's one more.
What's that? Which one?
What is it, Matt?
Based on what the Atari?
No. That didn't make the list. That should have made. Well, I don't want to say should have made the list. We were talking about it today.
Well, the Wii U's on the list. It's on the right hand side.
Oh, the
Oh,
Wii
it
U's
is.
in there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Missed
The Wii
that
U.
one.
The Wii U.
Yeah, the
it's
Wii U's
on
in
the
there.
was
The Wii U's.
Yeah,
Okay.
the thing about the Wii U side is that it's on the moment the Wii U wins, it goes up against the Dreamcast, so it automatically gets smushed.
Boy, I missed that whole conversation today. Okay, Eric, back up.
Okay, so we're going with 2600, right?
I would, yeah.
I would.
All right, Game Genie. Here's the tough one. All right.
This is Stock Shock's gonna see how cool you are with this one. So the
first
Intellivision?
16-bit machine ever.
I guess the Odyssey 2. That's the Odyssey 2, if you didn't know what that is.
Magnavox Odyssey 2?
Yes.
So
the other one's
what's your goal
Coleco?
here?
No, that's Intellivision. Intellivision, MikeB. Oh my gosh.
It looks a lot like a ColecoVision.
It does. The Coleco's in here.
Also a lot like a
ColecoVision stole the design from the best game system ever.
The fighting's already started. See,
I'm gonna go Intellivision there.
Intellivision. All right. Doc Jock's still your friend.
Yep, for now.
Now you got the ColecoVision against the Commodore 64.
Oh, I'm gonna make people mad. I'm going ColecoVision on this one.
Oh, no, that's a good choice.
Best
That's
home
a
for
great
Donkey
choice.
Kong up until the Nintendo. days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you, man.
You can never kill the Lord British.
Lord
there
British.
you go.
It's weird having computers in there with these anyway.
I know. I had
Yeah.
a debate on that one, but it was considered
Sega Master System all day.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Good job.
But to be fair, James, there's a lot of consoles that didn't make the list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See,
To
this
make-
next
They wait
one,
for the.
Hold on now.
this next one is bullshit.
I agree.
Bullshit. TurboGrafx 16 shouldn't be up against the NES this early.
Right off the bat,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well,
We had a 1 and
know,
a 2
when
going
you're-
against each other right away.
Well, I
You gotta
mean,
pick it eventually. You gotta pick what you want eventually. So
well, the fun thing was everybody says, "Oh, the TurboGrafx 16, 16-bit console," but it was actually running 2 8-bit processors, right? So,
Correct.
yeah, they're kind of both 8-bit. But I mean, there's no mistaking the importance of the NES. The entertainment system wasn't even called a video game system. It basically saved the whole video game industry. So,
yep.
Yeah.
and at one point I owned like 790 NES games. So I'm going to go with the NES.
NES. All right.
There
I
you go.
get all the blame for this, JJ. So
Yeah, whoever's the committee that seeded these,
Yeah.
protest.
It was a very small committee.
yes, it was me trying to figure it out. This was me just trying to give it a shot. So
He did a nice job with the lines, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice and straight.
Joel
Nice and
thinks all I
straight.
did was put the lines in. So for him,
And beautiful pictures.
okay.
Pictures,
If you don't
too.
know what this is the Atari ST against the Amiga 500.
I didn't play computers until about 5 years ago, so I will abscond from this conversation.
Yeah, where's the Apple II?
So Amiga
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 500.
started games like Lemmings and Zool, and there's one called Shadow of the Beast. I'm drawing a blank now. I played the thing forever. So and then it's
Shadow
pretty
of
much
the Beast was revolutionary, right?
revolutionary.
The Amiga
It's actually
500 seems to be the
Yeah,
chat's.
they made extreme parallaxing. They did things nobody had ever done before.
Yeah.
yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff with
The audience is picking Amiga.
Yeah,
I think Amiga is
Yeah,
because
all right.
you know which one
so
it
are
is,
you
Jay?
going
Which
with-
one is the Amiga?
Oh yeah, I know which one.
Yeah, I said I was absconding from this. I shouldn't be involved. I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
There we go. Back to
You
yourself.
guys ready for this one?
Yes, sir.
Do
Go
the
Jaguar.
math. Do the math.
Oh, are you
The
serious?
N64.
N64. Okay.
That's easy.
It's
Oh, you threw
64.
me.
Screw a Jaguar, man.
That was close.
Let's go.
Jaguar
That
was
was not
fun.
close. That was not close.
Oh, look at this.
Name three good Jaguar games. I ask you to do.
You
that.
can't.
There's Alien versus
Nice.
Predator, Tempest 2000, and then what?
Highlander.
There's a Highlander game.
Yep, on the Jaguar CD.
Oh well, that's not the same system. That's the CD
It
attachment.
connects to
What's
it.
CD
It's
attachment.
Xbox.
just an accessory.
Xbox versus it.
I did not
Neo
add
Geo.
add-ons like the 32X and the CD for this. So
Easily
So
the
Neo Geo gets
and
the
anybody
Xbox.
that
Game
says
Genie.
otherwise is wrong.
Me personally, I know a lot of retro fans will
Xbox.
hate this. I'm going Xbox.
Yeah.
You've got to go Xbox.
The Neo Geo was awesome, but like
Alright.
most of us didn't have it. It was too
Now,
expensive during that period.
very, very unfair to have these two this early on. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
well, this is going how I logically did it was the 70s,
just-
80s, 90s. And
All right.
Jeez, I even like video games.
2600.
do you like it?
I'm biased on this. I've never really played the Intellivision that much. Obviously, I had a lot of time with the Atari 2600, so I got to go with 2600.
Okay.
Sorry,
There you
stop.
go.
Jeff.
Let me try to talk you out of it, okay? The Intellivision, first 16-bit that was out there, first game that had a voice little module you could put in to hear voices come out of your cart. It also could play Atari cartridges.
Couldn't the
Yeah,
ColecoVision do that too?
Yes, ColecoVision had an add-on where you could.
But that came after.
Yeah.
I really wish we had a tiny violin and we could play every time he.
Oh,
and
man.
it can play Robotron.
I know
Robotron.
Stock Jock's really gonna hate this too, but I'm also going Master System over ColecoVision.
Yep.
Yes.
I would have taken Coleco one more round, but I get it. You young guys, I get it.
Oh, that's probably no brainer.
Yeah, this is easy lemon squeezy.
If you don't know the
Oh,
history,
no.
of the Amiga, you would
All right.
know.
Look at this.
That's a real
Look
tough
at
one.
this.
There you go.
Xbox over that.
Really?
Is it my choice?
Yeah.
It's your
Yep.
choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice. This is your bracket.
So even though it only had 364 games,
This one's tough for me, man. This is gonna be tough.
I liked the Xbox a lot, but at the end of the
64
day,
was the ultimate.
N64 for me, like still to this day, I go back and play those games before I'll go back and play Xbox games. So everybody's gonna hate this, but N64.
It was the co-op console, like couch co-op console of choice.
It was.
Yep.
Well,
There you
like
go.
for me, it was that first real dip into 3D. Like I never got another console after like Sega CD until I got the N64. So it was such a leap. Like even though like you look back on it now and you're like playing Mario 64 and you're like, this game's awesome, but you're also looking at it and saying, man, these graphics are super rough. But at the time, it was mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
My son just posted that new N64 upscaler one that they were coming out with, and he's super excited about that because he grew up with the N64, so he's really hype.
Upscaler or The analog 64.
No, it's like actual machine that upscales.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how much, but it does supposedly do 4K. So he just posted it to me. So he's super excited about having his daughter play. So and 64 it's timeless.
Yep. All right,
Mike. Time to decide. 2600 against the
Do you
Sega
follow?
Master System.
Oh,
Please don't hate me, but I'm going Sega Master System again.
Okay.
Right on.
Okay.
Wow.
Tisk. That's all I can
I know,
say.
but it's just
This one's got
nostalgia wins. Nostalgia wins, and NES.
Well, I
all the way
know.
over
That's
the-
why the 2600 should win.
nostalgia
How
for
much
me. The
nostalgia do you
2600 was
need?
a little before my time.
Oh yeah, you guys can use that.
We're not super old.
Excuse.
this would be the impossible choice for me here.
No.
I don't know which I'd choose.
No, it wouldn't be for me.
It's
this
the
one is
NES.
ridiculous. I agree.
NES?
I agree.
NES.
I agree.
NES.
Yeah.
And Sean's been mad at me. He's like, "How could this be possible?"
Yeah.
All
So
right,
far.
NES. All
All right,
right,
cool.
All
NES.
the brackets, craziness.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
Okay.
the first one that's made sense so far, Michael J. Good job.
And the
all right.
All right, now
All
you
right.
got it
first
down.
ever console war.
The original console war. What do you got here?
Much like major distributors back in the 80s when the NES was out, I am going to lock the Sega Master System out of commercial retail and pick the NES.
Good choice.
But it
Oh,
made the final
man.
four. It made the final.
Oh man.
Our brackets are
Okay.
exactly the same so far.
Oh wow.
There's your Wii.
Here's
That's
the
my
Wii
Wii
U.
U.
Okay. All right. All right.
Versus PS2. Come on now. Come on now.
It's realistic. Come
I
on.
don't I don't have to think about this one very much. It's the PlayStation 2.
No.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I love the Wii U. I absolutely love it. I still have mine.
And the
I
10 games you could play on it were amazing.
Well,
No,
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 no.
I got a
Like-
whole set. There's
like,
far more than
Ha-
10.
half the games are on the Switch or ports from the
There's
Wii U.
Yeah,
There's
no,
a
so
couple
you got the
hundred games on
Switch,
the Wii
yeah.
U.
So this is a really tough one for me because of personal reasons. Obviously, I really like the Xbox 360 because it's really the first gift my wife bought for me when we were seeing each other. So it has a special
Oh, yeah.
nostalgic place. But
Nostalgia. There you go. Okay.
yeah,
Was nostalgia win?
But
here?
hell, that Dreamcast is beautiful, isn't it?
Rustalgia or nostalgia?
it makes me feel very nostalgia like. It's hard to argue again with nostalgia for the Dreamcast. I got it launch day 999. What was it? 9999. I played a ton of it, and this is really my first foray into emulation. I was probably behind a lot of people, but playing like Dream SNES and stuff like that. So I'm going Dreamcast on this one.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Damn,
Sorry,
I
guys.
lost.
Nope. It's makes sense.
Who
All
made
right.
this? Who made this? This is ridiculous.
Okay, how about Xbox One against the GameCube?
It's like every Xbox is just.
Like I said, he did a good job with the lines.
Yes.
Yeah, these
Come
are
on.
really, really hard. I mean,
I know.
like, the
Yeah.
GameCube
It
shouldn't
is.
be up against the Xbox One. The Xbox One was still awesome. Like it did a lot of cool stuff, but the GameCube had such a small library, like really finite, really good games. Like I had a lot of fun with my GameCube, and I loved that controller. I remember when I first got it, playing Luigi's Mansion a ton, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Metroid Prime,
Somebody's
Metal
dog
Gear
died.
Solid Twin Snakes.
Yeah, that's not mine.
That's mine. It's on
And
her squirrel outside.
I can say all those, but I can't go back and remember a ton of Xbox One games. So, guys, don't hate me. I'm gonna go GameCube.
GameCube.
I would. Good job. That's
Okay.
what I would go with.
I'd go with GameCube too, even though I love
would too.
Xbox. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And GameCube games are expensive now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
It's gotta happen sometime, man. It's gotta happen sometime.
Why?
As a
$2.99. $2.99.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, come on. Come on. It's ridiculous.
Right off the bat. We're getting the hard ones out of the way. Let's do it.
Is
You
it
know
one
what's
of
going to
those-
happen here.
Is it one of those a refrigerator?
Yeah.
You know, this sucks, right? Like, you're aware of that.
It does suck. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
For a while there, I was really into my Xbox, but we're still in this generation, so it's hard to say. But I can tell you openly, I haven't bought a game for my PlayStation, my Xbox, in like a year and a half, 2 years. Like everything is from Game Pass, which is cool.
Yeah.
But like everything I buy now is pretty much on PlayStation 5, so I got to go PlayStation 5.
Yep.
I don't
All right.
disagree with you.
All righty.
And he's like, oh, okay.
So this is one that irritated me, Jay. You've got the Switch in both handheld and console. That's
Yes, so it can win both.
It's multifunctional.
It's
multifunctional.
You know what's weird? Arguably, the PS3 might still be more powerful.
Yes.
It might be.
Mhm.
And you can mod it.
Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
I can't even think about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this would be tough for me.
PS4 against the Wii.
Wii.
The Wii.
We
We all the way.
Wow, he didn't even put up much thought in that. He just
Well, the
went ahead and
PS5 is
went with
backwards
it, you know?
compatible, so it's kind of not.
Well,
hard.
the thing with the Wii is, again, for its sheer importance, like, I
Yes.
mean, it completely
Yes.
changed gaming. We got that stupid thing. I remember standing in line, getting it opening day, going home playing Zelda, and thinking nothing of that packing game. But how many hours did we all spend trying to hit home runs in the Derby, playing
Mhm.
bowling all night? Wii was
Tennis. Yeah.
so
everything.
many
Oh, yeah.
awful shovelware games. But when Nintendo did something good, they did something good.
and Mario
and-
Kart.
Yeah.
Play a lot of Mario Kart on that.
But
thing.
also, the last sensible Punch-Out game we're probably ever going to get was on the Wii. Yeah.
Yes, agree.
Mhm.
All right, last hard one.
This is bullshit. Again,
Yeah, this should be like the Final Four.
Yeah. Well, if you've noticed, everything is the console war of its generation.
SNES.
Yep.
SNES.
It's SNES. It has
This
to be
takes me
Super
back to the
Nintendo.
'90s and elementary school when every
SNES,
kid.
SNES.
was-
Yeah, you just went through every console war that
So,
from
I-
every period. So
I was very fortunate as a child. One could say spoiled. My parents knew how much I like video games. So I got the Super Nintendo for Christmas one year, and the next year they got me a Sega Genesis.
Oh,
And
dope.
actually a Sega CD too, because it was on sale.
Mm.
Wow.
So I'm very fond of both. Later on in like my collecting days, especially going deeper into the Genesis library, going back and experiencing some of the early Genesis games I missed. Like it's crazy. Like if you go back and you play like some of the early Genesis games, even movie titles, they're actually good. Like there's a good Home Alone game, there's a good Ghostbusters game, there's a good Dick Tracy game. You're like, impossible, but the Genesis did it. It's got such an amazing library, and it's got fun colors and grittiness to it. And I'm Canadian, so NHL 94 ruled on it.
yeah, I did.
But it's hard. It's hard. Like when I go back and play these, I mean, the Super Nintendo is where the majority of my comfort games lie. That's where Super Mario World is. That's where The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is. That's where Super Metroid is. That's where Final Fantasy 3 is. The original Mario Kart.
Mega Man
I absolutely hate this, but I got to go Super Nintendo.
Yes.
Man, you
Wow.
you
I-
put me nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
That
good.
was good because I thought you were going the other way there for a bit. You
It-
know?
Maybe on
It's-
TV, you knew how to do that perfectly. That was
Yeah,
good.
you did.
It's so unfair, though, right?
It is unfair.
It is unfair,
Ooh.
but
PS2.
One had a DVD player.
mhm.
You I'm a PlayStation guy, so I know what you're saying, man.
Yeah, once the PlayStation 2 came out, the Dreamcast was DOA. Like, they still had like great sports games. Like the 2K sports games were awesome. on
2K
it, but
Sports till this day.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
PlayStation 1.
Oh.
You're killing me, Mike. You're killing me.
Sorry, Smalls.
Now, what would you pick?
Yeah, this is a good one here. This is a great one.
So yeah, this one's tough too because the Nintendo Switch is pretty much done here now, and we're not going to see really any innovation with it. But the PlayStation 5 just came out with the Pro. There's more games coming out for it. They've got that awesome PSVR 2. It's really tough, really tough. But oh, please don't hate
Wait, listen,
me.
street cred on this one. Let's
Gotta go Switch.
I'm going Switch.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
How the mighty have fallen.
that was good.
Grandpa versus uncle.
Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay,
Ooh, wow. Okay.
okay.
Easy peasy.
Are you gonna? What are you gonna throw against the NES?
Super NES.
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Oh, somebody did that. Somebody one of theirs did. All right, PlayStation. This one's kind of easy though, ain't it?
No, it's not.
You can play the PlayStation 1 on the PlayStation 2.
But
but it's not.
It's
It has to
completely
do
backwards
with.
compatible. Completely.
It has nothing to do with playing. It has to do with, like, the PlayStation 1 is.
That was
literally
my
has one
point
built into
last
it.
week, Jay, when I said the Ambernick shouldn't be included in this. You can play all of these on the Ambernick.
Yeah,
But you can't play every game on the Ambernick.
It's not that simple. That's what I'll say. I had a lot of fun with my PlayStation 2, like during that era, not afterwards. That was when I was when I got my PlayStation 2. I was like 19 years old, and I was working. So like anytime a game came out, I could just go get it because it wasn't I wasn't relying on my parents to buy me gifts. I had a job, so I played a lot of games for it. But for me, with the PlayStation 1. That's where I really fell in love with playing role-playing games, and I just have so much of a stronger attachment with that, and I'm gonna go PlayStation 1.
Wow.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Interesting.
Is Todd coming back? Is he still here?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
He's just a circle.
He's just a circle.
Yeah, I'm just a circle.
He's trying to keep his.
He's gone all Super Saiyan.
I think what Sean said there.
I could just cop out here and say, well, you can play Super Nintendo games on the Switch.
Yeah, that's right.
You can. You can. But you've had a logical reason for picking all yours, so.
And like this is not based on the best. This is just based on my favorite. I'm not picking definitive.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
Absolutely.
This is your bracket.
I love the Switch. One thing I don't
Oh
like
no!
about it. One thing I don't like about it. Honestly, it's so cool. But I will say, in handheld mode, I don't find it as comfortable as it should be. I feel like it needs something a little bit more substantial around the handles. And I hate the fact that the included controller is what it is. Like it's those two Joy-Cons stuck on that thing. You have to buy a Pro controller.
Yeah.
For me, nostalgia-wise, and the games that make me happy. Oh man, I'm such a I don't know basic bitch, but I'm going Super Nintendo.
All right. All right. What's going to your final?
Can I duck out for about 20 minutes?
Shotgun Sean stared at his for a good hour. Shotgun Sean was sitting there. I can't believe this. I can't decide. And it's going against the NES.
I know.
Could either one of these beat the NES?
Yes, one of them could.
One of them can't. I agree.
Tough. Da-na-na-na.
I'm gonna pick Super Nintendo.
Good choice.
What?
Oh man.
This is my final two. This is dope.
Yep, great choice.
MichealB, for your pick for the best console, which do you choose?
Of
The
all
original?
For the
time.
friendship of a lot of people on the panel.
The
It's
original
easy.
NES.
I won't say he's gonna say NES. Come on.
Or its older brother.
No,
The
it's gonna be Super
SNES.
Nintendo. It's gonna be Super Nintendo.
What do you decide?
Wasn't this whole channel NES like before all this? Like, didn't we
The
have like a
other
huge NES
consoles would
collection?
even be on this list.
Look at the chat,
the
man. The
NES.
chat is going nuts.
Dude, NES had so many games. So many games.
So SNES has.
So did the Super Nintendo, man.
The
Today has
Intellivision
launched
had
so
about
many
200 games, and
that nobody knows to this day.
In 4 colors.
Oh, G4 guy.
And he's selling his MK fight stick because MK is stupid. Love you all, VR forever. I think that guy really likes VR.
oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, G4 guy.
Why would you ask people to do this? Like, do you just like them squirming on like, live video? Is
It's
that what-
better than the alternative.
Sometimes you got to make hard choices, Mike, and today this is your hard choice.
When you watch March Madness, this is the emotions you feel. Okay, I'm telling you.
I will be perfectly honest. Like from my youth, I got the Nintendo. I don't know. It was pretty late in the game. Like it was after Super Mario 2 came out, so I missed a lot of the early days. And you know, I had a lot of fun. I love the Super Nintendo. I probably like more Super Nintendo games than NES games. Like I did a top 10 years ago, and there's definitely more Super Nintendo games on that. Super Castlevania, Super Metroid, Star Fox,
Mega Man.
Again, I'll go back to the NES. Its importance pretty much saved the game industry single-handed, and then ran a completely inappropriate monopoly of the game industry. But yeah, you go back and you play those games, and there's just something special about them. It seems like all the really important series that continued on for like the next 3-4 console generations all started there. And I could pick up that controller with 2 buttons and run through Mega Man 2 every single day of my life. I'm going NES.
There it is.
Yeah!
Damn, man.
I
we
can't
got
fault you
love.
for that. All right.
100%.
So save it for him.
Solid bracket. Solid bracket.
Solid.
I honestly, I could have went either Super Nintendo or PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 was so close. That was the hardest choice for me, really.
All right, I'm going to download that. I'll send it to you. I'll post it on Arcades Anonymous in the bracket, or you can if you want to. On
I see Retro Lizard's comment there. Every side scroller is a different variation of Mario Bros. But I would argue that I did a top 10 hidden gems list one time, and everybody got mad at me, and they were like, every single game is a Mega Man clone. And I was like, I must really like Mega Man.
So there's your bracket, Mike. There's your bracket.
You made the choices really tough at times. Like,
Yeah, I did.
why was
I
the
did.
GameCube there with the Xbox One?
So this was original logic, 70s, 80s, 90s, to present.
The
So,
aughts.
yeah, the odds. So that was the logic, and then afterwards, I was like, dang, it was hard. So, like I said, blame me. But eventually, they're gonna go up against each other. So that's what I figured. Now, James, do you want to do another one of these, or do you want to do the handheld?
I do not want to do the handheld. I'm not a handheld guy.
Good. Thank you, James, for sparing us from looking at 20 different versions of Ambernick. Okay.
Yeah. Oh
no,
my
it's
god.
more,
And
it's
Game
more
Boys.
like Nintendo and Game Boys. It's a lot of Game Boys. All right, we'll X that out.
Plus, I have to fix Mike's bracket. So
Yeah. And just
So you know
just
what's
so everybody,
coming.
I was gonna say, just so everybody knows, there's votes for this. So in the end, we'll have everybody's vote, right, Jay?
Yeah. Right
On how
now,
the brackets are, so you can compare yours with how the masses felt.
Just
All right.
really quickly, I want to mention Retro Lizard Custom Arcades beat TMNT. That, like the original TMNT, if you can beat that on NES, that's badass.
oh yeah.
Badass, like really tough.
Oh.
But just a quick fact, like, do you guys remember Ultra? like the Ultra brand and why they did that?
Ultra
Yes.
Games.
Yeah, because
Ultra
they could only have
Games?
so many.
Konami could only release so many
Yeah.
releases per year, so they came out with a second brand and hit it under that.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Now
they're
the question
so
is,
good.
did he just beat it now? Has it taken him this long to beat it?
Have
need to
you
know.
played Turtles? Did you get the scrolls and make it?
I
on
don't know
Shredder?
any of these games, Michael B. I've told you, I got my television in there, and that's all I play.
He's got his television and Ambernick, and he's good.
I don't even have an Ambernick yet. Waiting for Jay to send it because I'm his only member.
He is my one supporter. I appreciate it. Todd, do you have any in the chat going on right now? Is Todd
If you
still
want,
with
if
us?
yeah, I'm with you. If you want, I can put anything up. You just tell me what I need to put up.
I forget what's on the website right now. I think it's so if you want to do 5200 against the Master System.
All right, I'll put it in the chat.
No, not 5200. What is that? 7800? 7800.
7800.
No, that's the 52.
No, it's 78.
It's the 7800, I think. On
It's
your
a 7800 because you didn't do the 5200, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
52.
okay, there you go. You're right. All right.
So yeah, put that in the chat and see what the chat says. That way we get some of these. We got so many to do. All right, James.
Here we go, James.
So I'm
Your
going
turn.
to piss people off right out of the gate. So because I realized the 2600 is like, it was my first console. It's super nostalgic. I have a bunch sitting over here, of course, including E.T., the game that killed everything, or at least gets blamed for it anyway. But the Vectrex was the superior system, superior technology, and is pretty damn awesome.
So we've got the legal / engineer guy breaking things down like this, not going after nostalgia. I get it now.
What if the
game's done-
Vectrex doesn't come with any of its overlays?
It still doesn't matter. It's still plays good.
Yeah, that's
It's
how they
just-
added color.
Yeah.
It's just cooler. It's just cooler.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the games on Atari were okay at the time, but they're nothing memorable. I don't go back and
How dare
play
you
the
talk
Atari
ill of Plaque
2600
Attack?
all the time.
You take that back about Plaque Attack.
Haunted House and Video Pinball, Spitfire Attack. Those are the games I remember on the 2600.
Oh, Jason says there's some homebrew on the Vectrex too. That's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. They still do
right.
stuff today. So
Oh, well, that changed my mind. Sure.
yep. And sorry, Stock Jock, but this is the Odyssey 2 all the way.
Oh,
What is it with you and the overlays? Like James is like, it had
Yeah.
overlays. I wanted it.
I want to run up to the TV every time and put something on there to make it look cool.
Oh, the Odyssey 2 was great. That's actually the first game system I ever played because my childhood babysitter owned one. And so when I was like 3 or 4, I got to play it when no other kid did because I had a 2600. So
I never heard of the Odyssey 2 until I got into this group and had to do some research. on it,
it's
so-
fantastic.
Why did you have all these computers on here and you didn't even put the Fairchild Channel F?
Yeah,
And we talked about
I
that.
told
yeah.
you it was an honorable mention. So
So this is a Coleco for me. I just
What?
can't go
I
for
can't
a
believe it.
computer against a console. It's just
okay,
not in my wheelhouse.
gotcha.
You want to do a bracket on computers? I'm happy to do that too.
It's debatable.
Well, your bracket's already blown up. I can already tell you right now.
Sega Master System on this one.
Okay.
This
is the one. This is the one people are voting on right now.
8-bit. It's awesome. So
This
I
is
like.
the one. Todd, do you have that in the chat right now? Do we lose Todd again?
I'm working on it right now.
Okay, this is the one you'll be voting on. Is the 7800 against the Master System?
Yeah, I mean the 7800 has River Raid and games like that, but man, the Master System, you had Monster Boy, you had Rocky. It's so much good stuff. It had 3D, so you could do your 3D headset.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
really
it'd be
like
fun
the Zapper.
Yeah,
I've been playing what's that, Jungle Hunt? That's actually really fun.
it's a very underrated system. It's awesome.
And some of them come with 2 games built into them. I have Super Hang On and I have.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
Jungle
of
Hunt.
multi packs.
And we got Fantasy Star started on the Master System. We got our first North American Ease game, Book 1, on the Master System. And then you got some really cool like Zelda clones, like Golden Axe Warrior. It's super expensive if you want to get a real one. So if you want to pirate it, go pirate it. But it's an awesome game.
Yeah. So that's my pick. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm with Mike. Like this should not be against each other because both of these are great, but nothing. The NES is the NES, so clearly I'm picking the NES.
Did you honestly know anybody with a TurboGrafx 16?
Yes, I had a TurboGrafx 16. Bought it at a pawn shop, and I had Splatterhouse, of course, Keith's Courage, but that was really the only two games I had growing up. But Splatterhouse was why I got it, right? I loved horror games, so I had to have it.
Yeah,
I really sold in the area. That's why I had to get it from a pawn shop when I was a kid.
Right. The only time I ever played one was like in a store that had like a display model and stuff.
Yeah.
So I never really got to experience it and stuff. It was like one of those I didn't know anybody with it. It would look cool. I really wanted one, but I didn't know anybody with it.
Sounded great. It's phenomenal system.
It was a big Radio Shack seller, especially like later on, like the Turbo Duo and stuff like that. At times they were clearancing them out of Radio Shack.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So NES for me.
All right.
Oh, logical choice there.
Easy. This one, Amiga 500.
Gotcha.
And then, oh yeah, I mean N64. As much as I would love to pick the Jaguar, it was a terrible console. So N64.
Except for Tempest.
This is the one people are going to hate me on too, because I don't think N64 is a great system, but it's better than the Jaguar.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I did find out from Glenn there is a way to take the Tempest version of the Jaguar version of Tempest and play with a track or spinner.
With a spinner.
Yeah, so there's a mod or something where you can actually do that with that one. And I was going to tell Joel because he mentioned it. I was like, I'm trying to figure out how to do that emulation wise. There seems to be a way to do it, but yeah, that is the only other version of Tempest you could actually use a spinner on. So
nice. And then this one, yeah, it's interesting. So you know what I'm going to pick? I'm going to pick the Neo Geo, but for me, Xbox, I'll always remember Xbox One is how you could just get limitless free games, because Microsoft had like this retailer website, and you would go take training about games and consoles and earn points, and then you trained those points in for free games. But they never bothered to check if you actually worked at retail. So at the job I was working at, we would sit on here all day long and just click through those trainings. And so I have a massive Xbox One library, and the vast majority have never been open.
So you can literally change your channel name to James Scams Everything.
I know another guy who likes to scam.
Yeah,
but one of my favorite finds of all time was the Neo Geo. After one Christmas, we had a store here called CompUSA, and I rolled in there, and in a clearance bin was the Neo Geo Gold system with 2 controllers. It had I forget that wizard game with the purple in it. And it was
Magician Lord.
Yeah, Magician Lord. There you go. It was $200.
Yeah.
And
$200.
Yeah, that system was retail like $600 at the time. So it was like,
and another controller was like $100.
Yeah, and every game was $200 at the time. Yep. But we had a sort of a pawn shop. It was like a modern day retro gaming store called Entertainment Earth, and which not to be confused with the company that exists today. But it was this little pawn shop down on State Line, and they had Neo Geo carts there. So I was able to pick up like Baseball Stars Professional, and that was one of my favorite ones. I love the Neo Geo, played it constantly for at least 2 decades. I love that system. Just it was very expensive to own, so you didn't get to play many things. So for me, Neo Geo is way up there. So
all right, Neo Geo. Not hating on your bracket so far. All right.
So this one, Vectrex wins between these two, obviously.
Wow. Obviously.
But if you've never played the Vectrex,
it's obvious to me.
Everything about James's picks has been obvious so far.
Yeah. James, your taste in consoles is as good as your pinball designs. I got to tell you.
Between these two, again, the technology of Vectrex is far superior.
I don't disagree with that.
Obviously. Oh, that's great. That's why we do this. All right.
Again, Sega Master System. I was never a huge Coleco guy, so Sega Master System for sure here.
All right.
Controllers shouldn't have number pads.
Not all the
Yes.
controllers did. Some of them had weird gauntlets and stuff like that. It was crazy.
What if you have to call someone?
I know, exactly. They're like, you know what?
Hello?
Every controller needs to look like a TV remote.
And a phone.
NES.
NES. All right. Now here you go.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate it.
Oh
'cause
man.
the Neo Geo's knocking that N64 off in the next week.
Wow.
I am not a fan of the N64. I think there were a couple games on it, but N64 made me hate Zelda because I thought Ocarina of Time was so bad.
Mario Tennis.
What?
You know, did not like it. It was terrible, man. You're a Mario fan or a Zelda fan, that was not great.
Yeah, if you're a Mario fan, you will not like Zelda.
That's true.
I mean, it had, some of the games on there that were cool were like Rogue Squadron was awesome. Yeah. Obviously, 007. It's not like it doesn't have some really good games on it, but I do not, in my opinion, you were out at the same time as like all these other better consoles, like the PlayStation, stuff like that. This was not. They should have moved to CDs instead of sticking with cartridges at that point.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I can't hate like a Neo Geo though, because
it's too bad. It's too bad we never ever at least got the demo of that Final Fantasy game they were developing for the N64 before they switched over to PlayStation. Like, there's images of it in a Nintendo Power magazine, but like I don't know if anything ever came from it. Like, if there's some kind of playable demo on the internet or something.
Somebody out there.
Neo Geo for me.
Neo Geo. Here we go. All right, how far does Vectrix go?
It doesn't go any further. Sega Master.
obviously, guys. Obviously.
I'd like to see how James is stacked up against everybody else's or the masses.
NES.
NES,
of course.
Okay. Logic prevails. All
right. He's still going to be allowed in the Airbnb the next time we have a get together.
That's right.
Okay.
And then NES. Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
I think we concluded with the same final two in this bracket, didn't we?
Yeah, you got there. You took a little different route, but you got there.
All right, you're gonna hate me again, but Wii U is one of my favorite consoles of all time, so I'm picking Wii U.
See?
Over the PS2.
The PS2 is great too.
Yeah.
You put two things against each other that are both phenomenal, but without the Wii U, you wouldn't have the Switch. And I've played it like I played the Switch. I used to just sit with the controller on the couch and play, Zelda and everything else using that, Breath of the Wild and everything else. And it just looked so good. Like, because the colors are so crisp and everything on your TV, it was just phenomenal looking. The library sucked. It didn't have many games.
It's very hackable right now, though. So
it didn't have great third-party support, but I still have a lot of nostalgia for it.
Gotcha.
So I picked that one. But that's not to say PS2 is not awesome, because it is.
How'd they compete in sales? Just refresh my memory.
I mean, obviously,
I know.
Nintendo's problem was sticking with the Wii U branding instead of just completely changing.
If the Wii U would have been more successful, though, we'd be getting the Switch right about now.
Yeah,
that's true.
True.
So this is Dreamcast for me. Not to 360 is a classic system with a huge library, one of the most popular of all time, but Dreamcast is hard to beat.
The PS2 beat it, so.
Yeah, but there was all different reasons for that. It was easily hackable, so sales went to crap pretty early.
Actually,
and I'm with Mike on this one. This is easily the GameCube.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, he yelled at me for this one.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he got yelled at by a lot of us on
I got yelled at.
GameCube.
I'm taking it.
Yeah. And this is again PlayStation 1 on this one. The Saturn isn't no nostalgia for me at all. So.
You didn't have one?
I had one later as an adult, but I just not growing
I
up.
knew one guy who had one.
Yeah,
That
I
was it.
had a lot of nostalgia for renting the Saturn. Like me and like
Yeah.
a couple other
Me
buddies
too.
would get together, go rent it, and then you get it home and you'd be like, "Oh, this is crazy! I'm playing like Daytona,
Yeah,
Virtual
yeah.
Cop, Virtual
No one
Fighter."
I
and it
knew
just seemed
had
so
one.
cool.
I don't even recall a place that would rent one. So it's like it's just never entered my even field of view until way later.
Blockbuster. I did a lot of renting from Blockbuster on the PS1 when that came out too. All right, what you at?
I mean, PlayStation 5.
All right.
Like look at first
Oh,
party
the PlayStation
titles.
5 channel guy picks the PlayStation 5. I guess.
Like,
They put them on the
look at
map.
What are the first party games in this current generation? And PlayStation is beating Microsoft out. Microsoft
he has
some
nostalgia
good
for
ones, but-
hitting 1,000 with this console.
Yeah. So PS5, as Mike said, I have to force myself to buy an Xbox game. I don't have to force myself to buy a PlayStation game.
I actually buy. The only reason why I buy the Xbox games is because they tend to be cheaper because they're trying to clearance them quicker.
Yeah,
than
they don't
the,
want physical media anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're actually. That's the only reason why I'm like choose between the two is I just go whichever one's
titles-
really cheaper.
Certain titles that are on both, I'll buy for the Xbox just so I have an excuse to play the console that I bought.
I was doing that for a while too. Yeah,
You know, and it's just like that's not a good sign.
Right. Unfortunately. All right, PS3 against the Switch.
Love my PS3, but the Switch is gonna be one of the all-time greats. So I gotta go Switch.
My wife plays it, so that tells you something. She don't play video games, and she plays it all the
There's
time.
just so many good titles, so many independent titles that are just phenomenal. Love it.
I know this isn't my turn, but I just want to throw this out there about the Switch. Like everybody so easily says, "Oh man, the Switch is like the best console of all time." Arguably, it's a handheld.
Yeah,
with a dock.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a handheld.
Yeah, it's a handheld with a dock. It's no different than the Steam Deck docked.
Yeah,
but like
I
everybody
honestly
calls it a
wish-
console.
Yeah, I wish Nintendo would actually make a console.
Correct.
Again,
With no screen. Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
It's interesting to hear how different people play it because I always dock it. I never play it on.
But
the
even
handheld.
if it's docked, it's still a handheld.
Yeah. I rarely play mine in handheld, but there have been times.
So I think Michael B is calling
So what is the
bogus
Wii
on this.
So Mike, what would you call the Wii then? Wii U.
What would I call the Wii U? Oh, that is definitely a console. Like
It's a
that,
console.
Yeah, that screen, the gamepad doesn't work unless the console is going.
Yeah, and you had to be like in the same room basically.
Yeah.
You couldn't be
And if
too
your
far
internet
away.
was
Not too far away in the room
If
either.
your internet was really bad, you had to play it right up against it.
Hopefully, don't let the dog walk in between you and line of sight.
So obviously the Wii is one of the greatest selling consoles of all time, and you can find them everywhere. But for me, it's the PS4. PS4 was destiny for me. It was all these great experiences. So I get everybody played and loved Wii Sports, but what did it have beyond that besides thousands of pieces of shovelware? So for me, it's the PS4.
Okay.
You're not cultured, James. Didn't you ever play Pandora's Tower?
Guitar
so many-
Hero, Rock Band.
But I played all
House of
those
the
on the
Dead.
PlayStation. Guitar Hero, Rock Band, those were all PlayStation, Xbox stuff for me.
Yeah.
The Last
Yeah,
Story.
like
there were some real gems for the Wii if you just had to look.
New
I'm
Super
finding-
Mario Bros.
Through piles and piles of
Donkey Kong.
shovelware.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
find
I have like
the
good
shooters.
ones,
I
but
didn't realize how many shooters
know.
were on it. That's really when I go back, I'm finding a ton of different shooters, which is really cool.
yeah, it was definitely good for shooters for sure. So I'm gonna go Super Nintendo on this one as well. Had both, liked both, but I like the bright colors and stuff of the Super Nintendo over the dark, dingy graphics of the Genesis.
I'm with you there. But not that Sega didn't have some good stuff though. Definitely the sports games were definitely better on Sega.
So all that I said about loving the Wii U, I don't love it more than the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast goes on.
But the Genesis had blast processing.
It did.
It did.
And it did what
it had-
Nintendo.
It did what Nintendo
had great marketing campaigns, but
The show's gonna last 6 hours.
It might.
Sega's commercials though were top notch. Sega,
They were.
Oh, they had great marketing.
I wish to this day somebody would be that good at marketing again.
PlayStation was pretty
Anybody.
good. PlayStation was pretty good
when
there
it
for a
first
while.
came
Yeah,
out.
the early days when they would have like Crash Bandicoots screaming at buildings and stuff.
Yeah,
That
and
those
then
were
Yes.
then the guy who was the PlayStation president, right? The actor.
Oh.
He was good too.
Oh, he was beautiful. Yeah. You know why
Well,
he got
also
fired?
those-
He got
And
fired.
their
from that-
tournaments they had.
When did he get fired?
Because he did a car ad playing a Wii. They were giving away a Wii, and he was in there.
Oh.
Yeah. And so Sony fired him over that.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? One of your best marketing campaigns, and you fire him because he played the Wii. Who doesn't play the Wii?
That's the competition.
Yep.
So Dreamcast on this one.
Dreamcast, yeah.
It's for Blue Stinger specifically, isn't it, James?
No.
I love Blue Stinger. What are you doing, man?
Man, I love the football games on the Dreamcast. Crazy Taxi. There's so many great things on the Dreamcast. It was the first with the modem, right? You could go connect up games, and you had
I had a
keyboard,
modem
and you
on
could browse the internet.
I had a modem on my Super Nintendo.
And the really thing on it was you could easily run burned CDs on there, right? You could copy every game, and we had that same rental store I talked about.
He's like,
We
whatever I could pirate. That was
Yeah,
the
well,
best.
we would rent. They had Japanese GameCube games, so I had a massive, or not GameCube, but Dreamcast. So I had a massive Japanese library of GameCube games, like Dragon Ball Z, all this stuff, like that just never came out here, and so it was awesome. Wow, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I
Retro
love
gaming
the
system.
PlayStation, especially the modding era of PlayStation, right? Installing the mod chips and again burned games and things like that.
James, what did you do?
James loves crime.
Yes.
And right to tinker with the hardware.
You
And do
wouldn't-
that stuff.
That's why he's
But-
so
You wouldn't steal
familiar
a
with
car,
the-
would you?
You started you need to start wearing an eye patch, you know?
On one hand, I was leaning towards GameCube because you have great games like Resident Evil 0, you have Smash Brothers, there's some good Zelda games on here.
Okay, stop right there. Smash Brothers should be a determining factor in this.
Well,
And that
for me,
controller.
that era, like at least the PlayStation era, it was all about Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 1, that experience, survival horror, like, is something I just am addicted to. So for me, I'm going to go PlayStation on this one, which I think is differing slightly from my other bracket. But
Okay. PlayStation had Tekken 3, Gran Turismo.
had lots of good stuff on there.
We're gonna end up with the exact same final two. I can feel it.
And then what Final Fantasy 7, that's
Yeah.
where that came from. So.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So many good games on the PlayStation 1. Crash Bandicoot, we were talking about that earlier. Like, just so many good things. So this one is the Switch.
Oh.
Really?
Again,
Wow.
The library. It's the library.
Wow,
of
I'll
games.
do it too.
It's just got so many good games.
You know the PS5 has the PS4 library too, right?
I do, but that I'm not going to vote for the PS5 based on the PS4 library because we have PS4.
Okay.
But the arguably, I think the current generation is probably one of the worst generations for games. And
I agree.
So
I agree.
Switch is an easy winner in my book.
I have to interject in here, by the way, James, just so you know, that really is a handheld.
I agree.
The Switch is the only one that could win both the brackets.
Yeah.
Yep. Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
It's going to be the
Shake it
same
up.
exact one.
I told you. I told you.
Probably will.
Yeah, but his semis and everything like that are gonna be different.
Everybody's talking about.
I'm still gonna go Dreamcast.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow!
Oh.
Matt's happy. Matt's happy.
You got
That is
Code
so
Vero-
misguided.
Code Veronica in there. You've got
Code Veronica was really good.
Hydro
There's-
Thunder. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, that is a
There's a
Switch.
lot
That
of good
is-
stuff on the Dreamcast. Now the controller sucked, right? Only having one analog stick, but it was still great. So for me, it's Dreamcast.
Well, when the PlayStation
Dreamcast I still play today, and I don't really have a whole lot of desire to play PlayStation. So.
I think we
Tekken
have
3
very
is the one
different
I
taste in
probably-
games, man. Very different taste in games.
It's anything he can pirate. Remember that?
Yeah,
Mike.
that's right. That's right. The Dreamcast was just so much easier to pirate.
Drink, and you can the Switch you can pirate pretty well right now. So there you go.
Yeah, which I don't. So this one is going to be the Super
Sure.
Nintendo.
What's that?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo over the Switch.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
Is it the same?
There's just something about putting the cartridge in.
Oh, no,
that
this is
feels
just-
There
right.
we go. Well, here it is. This is where we
Yeah,
find out.
It's going to come down to the same final too, because it's still going to be the Super Nintendo over the
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Now he's gonna choose the NES like Mike, or he's gonna choose Super Nintendo.
Yes. Who wins?
Well, there's one console up here that has like most of my favorite games of all time, and it ain't the Super Nintendo. So, Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Kid Icarus, Punch Out,
Go 13.
Oh, yeah, there's so many damn good games on the NES. Now if you had the Famicom on this bracket, maybe it'd come down to the NES versus the Famicom, and we might have had something interesting. But it's gonna be the NES for me.
NES.
Yeah,
Well,
all those.
Famicom and the freaking Super Nintendo are the same.
What is it? Bubble Bath
Bible
Babes.
Adventure.
Like, there's so many great games.
All right. He took a different route, but he got to the
way
same
different
spot.
route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James took the scenic route.
Yeah.
But he got to the same place.
Yeah, I'm missing the 3DO. I had one of those. Loved the 3DO. First 3D Madden football game. You had that Rod Zombie fighter that was really terrible but had great music.
Road
It's
Rash on
brackets.
the 3DO was amazing.
Road Rash on the 3DO was epic.
Oh,
Great
yes.
soundtrack.
Yep.
Street
Did-
Fighter.
The better version of Sewer Shark. I know no one likes
Yep.
that, but I love Sewer Shark. And
The better version of a crappy game.
And
I also had a
Street
Philips
Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yep, I had the Philips
Right.
CDI, so I'm missing that. Though that was
Those are
arguably a
honorable
terrible
mentions.
system, but I did have that. I had both the Zelda games, not the third one that didn't really exist until way later, but
Yeah,
it was objectively a terrible system.
Well, you could pirate the shit out of that one too.
Yeah, see, I didn't know back then though. I was still too young.
No, I meant not the CDI. I meant the 3DO.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, could you?
Oh yeah, big time. I bought my 3DO used, and the guy handed me like 10 complete in box games. I was like, awesome. And he's like, yeah, there's a flip binder in there too of about another 700. I was like, what?
Jackpot.
Nice guy. Well, there you go, guys. That is your bracket, and I appreciate you guys playing. Like I said, it's for fun, and if you guys want to do it yourself, you can. And then if you guys want to go through the handhelds, you can.
Mini Ambernick winners.
No, not yet. Nobody's gone.
So
that
my
far.
bracket has Analog Pocket winning, just so you know. Because it plays all those other ones you have listed, so what's the point?
You argued with Jay about that with the other thing.
Yeah, I know.
That's just like him to do that to me. So, but you
If
know
I'm
what? I
not
would pick,
arguing
to
with
be honest.
Jay, what's the point?
Yeah, right. Honestly, what I would say, maybe the Vita, because it is hard to emulate the Vita, and some Vita has some really good like first party games, and you can mod that thing to emulate other ones. There's not a lot of things that can emulate them.
And Vita had that sweet OLED screen too, right?
It did, and I have it. I
Yeah.
have two of them actually. So, Vita is a big plus, and it had the backwards compatibility with the PSP. So. That's in the running to me, even though you can, like you said, get an Ambernick, but Ambernick is not emulating the Vita. Todd, you still with us?
Yeah, he's
Yep,
doing. He's
I'm
got the
working
hole
on
in there.
Spoiler.
I'm working.
He's got the.
Yeah.
He's working the pole for you.
Yeah.
So it looks like the
Sega Master System has won. So
I will make note of that.
yeah.
We got time for one more of those polls.
Sure. Shoot the
Yeah,
breeze. What's the next one?
Okay, the next one was the TurboGrafx 16 against the NES. See what the chat says. See how hard they think that one is.
TurboGrafx and the NES, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see what they say.
TurboGrafx was awesome, but it only had a library of like 98 games in the US.
Yeah.
Like if you include the PC Engine and like all the cool stuff that came out of Japan, like James said with the Famicom, it's a whole different story.
All I remember is Bonk.
Yeah, Bonk's Adventures.
3
Yeah.
bonks.
That was the only game I ever. It has Bonk.
Legendary
Bonk?
Axe.
That's also
Legendary
the
Axe is good.
Yeah.
Ninja
the
Spirit, Blazing
yeah.
Lasers, Bloody Wolf,
Yeah, Castlevania was amazing on the TurboGrafx, right?
CD,
Yeah.
TurboGrafx CD. Well,
And then
actually,
you had,
yeah.
Then you had Demon Crush and Alien Crush.
And you had
pinball games.
Newtopia. If you're a Zelda fan, they were Newtopia, Newtopia 2 were two amazing Zelda clones.
Yes, they were.
Yes.
Yeah, Splatterhouse, like Jason mentioned, is still the GOAT on the TG16 for me.
Now, how do those cards hold up after time? Like cartridges are okay, but those cards, like they just
They
fall to
work
pieces.
perfect. I've never had an issue with any of the Hue cards.
So on the portable one, we have the what was the
Turbo Express.
Turbo
The Turbo
Express
Express.
that could use the card. That was revolutionary. Did you ever have the Turbo Express, James? Or
No, I almost bought one a couple of years ago, but I did not. I'm not a big handheld fan. I had like obviously the Game Boy growing up. I had the Game Gear and the Lynx, which I still have my Lynx, but that was really it. Never really played any of them very much.
Yeah. The Game Gear was unique because remember it had the TV tuner. You could put it and you could watch TV on the Game Gear. Like
Yeah, so
I don't
did
remember.
And so did the
TG16 had that too.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, Matt, you ignorant slut. The TurboGrafx 16 had that as well.
We had the Game Boy and the Game Gear. We didn't have anything TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like one of those when it came to the TurboGrafx, it was just one of those things you seen on TV and you never really seen in person. I was like, oh, that's cool. What is that? And so with the Neo Geo, if it wasn't for some kid that I met randomly having a Neo Geo, I would have never seen a Neo Geo either.
Yeah, I mean the Game Gear was great because if you had a handful of batteries, you might be able to play for about 30 minutes.
I had the battery pack. I got the
the
battery
hell
pack
out of it.
and the what was it? The magnifying glass.
Yeah.
I had to like almost everything, and I had the
Oh, on the
adapter to
Game-
play. Yeah, and I
On,
had the
on the
adapter.
Game Boy or on the actual Game Gear?
Game Gear.
Oh wow.
And then I had an adapter so you could play Master System games on the Game Gear.
Yeah.
So I had all the. It was like this big, huge monstrosity that I was like, check out my Game Gear, and I had the power pack in my pocket. I was like, yeah, it was great. So the Master System won that one.
I got it up and running. They gave me another PCB for that Retro Lizard, so yeah, I didn't even have to mod it. They got it to me within like 2 weeks. I got a new PCB for that.
For what?
For Tron.
Tron.
Oh, you're Tron.
Yeah.
Is it, you have like a fan, or is it vented now?
I took it out of the casing too to make sure the heat stays off of it.
Baking it was.
Yeah.
The baking didn't work.
No.
Yeah, no. I tried to bake it and try that, but it didn't work either. So.
Yeah.
All videos on my channel. Go check them out, guys.
Did Mystery Encoder put you up to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He's like, just go take it and bake that old PCB, and it'll plug it in, it'll work. And I did all that. It didn't work.
He's like, do it. You can do
And
it.
what great
It wasn't
content
necessarily
it
baked
was.
it, right? At first, it was
Yes.
put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
We're all like,
Then try
no,
to-
don't do that.
And now he's like deep fry it and oh yeah.
yes.
You got an air fryer? Put it in the air fryer. That might-
I got a question to ask everybody, and that is what year? Like, I'm older than all you guys.
What?
So I remember like the first game system that came to my house was Pong. Okay, it was like 1975. I was 15 years old when Pong came out. What about you guys? What was your first memory of a game system that came into your house that you played? And does anybody remember?
The 2600 was
2600.
2600.
NES for me.
Commodore 64.
Which is because what the 2600 came out what year? 78, right? Wasn't it?
I would assume so. I was born in
Somewhere
76.
around there.
Yeah. So that thing lasted long enough for you guys to get to play it and that's kind of cool.
First console I ever played, I had a friend named Joey who lived on the same street as me. His birthday was like 15 days in front of mine, and we went to his house for his birthday party, and he told everybody he was getting a Nintendo, and his parents gave him an Atari 2600 for his birthday. That was kind of a surprise, but that was my first ever time like playing a video game console was 2600, and we played Pac-Man, and that was the first experience I ever had. Then 15 days later, I got my Nintendo Entertainment System and Super Mario Brothers 2. And quickly, his mom took back his Atari and got him the Nintendo he originally wanted.
No, wow.
I was like that. I didn't own a game system for a long time, but I had friends go to a friend's house. Like you said, Atari 2600 was huge. Somebody had a Pong machine, and you play that. My dad was at college, and they had the Atari. Not Atari, Apple IIe's. And he had people swapping discs, and when we were playing in the computer lab, we would play video games. And my dad finally brought home a Commodore 64, and so that was my first video game playing in my house was that. And eventually, he got me a tape drive so I could actually save something, and then you could buy cartridges for it. And then eventually, one day, we got the disc drive, and then I learned how to sail the high seas like James here, and that opened everybody else was doing NES. I'm like, dude, I got like 300 games. And
did you ever play the original Castlevania, or not Castlevania, but dang it just left my head. It's that 3D shooter, the one that started them all, but Wolfenstein. So
Wolfenstein, yeah.
Wolfenstein
3D.
The original, not the 3D.
So
original.
Back
on
on
Apple
the Apple IIe.
Yes. With the maze. Yep. Yeah, that was a big one on the Apple IIe. Some like pirated Pac-Man that had a tail. It was like Pac-Man, but he had a tail, and he was bouncing, and it was like, yeah. And we were in this computer lab, and you're like, what are you kids doing here? And we couldn't play any games that had sound in one of them because you couldn't change the volume on the sound, so I had to play stupid. This plane would come. It was like Bomber, and you had to like hit these ships, and all it would do is drop a bomb. It was the only game that didn't have sound. All the other ones would disrupt the whole. Everybody's actually doing their schoolwork.
Sucker.
I was like, dang it! I don't want to play this stupid game, but I didn't care. I was like, yay! I blew up a ship.
What about you, Gallagher guy? Because you're the youngest guy here.
The young guy.
Yeah, my first one was the NES. That's what we had. My dad wanted to buy one brand new for $200, but his friend who had a used one said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you just give me $200 for this used one?" And then he bought it from him. My mom was so mad. She's like, "Why did you buy that for full price?" So yeah, but I remember
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it was real stupid. I remember Super Mario World 3 or Super Mario Bros. 3 was like our favorite game on there. But the other one that we really liked to play was Bad Dudes. We loved Bad Dudes.
It was good. It was good. Yes,
I played that all the time.
Yes, Oregon Trail and Apple IIe. Yes, we played the crap out of it.
You have died of dysentery.
Yeah.
And did you guys like when somebody died and you wrote on the tombstone, you would stop and see what kind of message they'd leave you?
Yeah.
ooh, they said something bad on this one. And it was on the disc, so I had to load it up. It was great time.
Yes, Jay, especially Jay does, by the way. Represents the boomer as well.
Who, me? I'm not as old as you, man.
Someone earlier tonight said MichealB is a millennial, and I'm like, I don't think MichealB is a millennial.
No, it's one of those arguments because I was born in right at that gap, 1980, where some people don't consider that to be Gen X, but it still is Gen X. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really define myself as anything. If you want to call me a millennial, that's up to you, man. I don't really give a shit.
There's a new Carmen Sandiego game coming out. I saw John Jay just
What?
post that. He just announced that the other day, or at least I saw an ad for it the other day.
Cool.
So now you
Would've
can
been
find her
better if it
again.
was like a game show.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the game show.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I could sing the
Where
theme song. What I'm
in
going
the
to.
world
Exactly.
is-
Carmen.
Where in the world did you see that?
Oh yeah, that was great.
I
I watched that show. I watched that, and I didn't realize it, but Joe Biden was on there.
Get out of town.
Yeah, I was like,
He was on
holy
one
crap,
episode.
he is old. I didn't realize how old he was, and I'm like,
brown hair back then.
Yeah.
he did like some special spot, and I'm like, what? Chaotic, what was your first system?
Oh, it was the 2600.
2600.
That was at my babysitter's house, and I remember playing Pac-Man. I remember playing Empire Strikes Back, where you kept on shooting the walkers.
Yes. Sir.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite game, even though I had no idea what the hell I was doing. But that, and then my brother got his regular Nintendo. And I remember the first game we played together was Bad Dudes. We beat that together. Then we went to
Michael's like,
Contra.
Bad dudes.
Yep, Contra.
Yeah, then we went to Contra. Like all the 2-player games, like we played together and we stayed up all night.
I kind
Oh,
of.
that is cool.
That was another one.
Akari.
Akari, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Atari Warriors.
Yeah, that was another one.
That's great to hear. I mean, like playing with with your brother and all that stuff.
Yes,
That's
sir.
really cool.
We played hockey. Remember hockey?
Ice hockey.
NES.
Yeah.
Ice hockey.
I was more of
Yeah.
a Blades of Steel kind of guy.
Blades
but,
of
you know.
Steel. Yeah.
The fun part was that you get in the fight if you hit the button fast enough and you can start the fight, and we just loved
yeah.
doing that. I don't know why we thought that was hilarious, but we just like, oh my gosh, you can fight.
Well, you could change the size of the players.
Yeah,
too.
really
Gotta
good.
go with the fat
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
All
that
Guys,
Yeah.
the really slow ones.
They move slower, but man, they could smack people around.
They had
Yeah, you
such
start
great
fighting with them, they're
wrestling
just like,
games, too.
"Wing."
Like pro wrestling and muscle.
Oh,
and
pro
Yeah.
wrestling.
Oh, I
Yes.
rented the shit out of pro wrestling.
I still remember the fight music to pro wrestling.
that
Yeah,
was a
that
great
actually was quite good. Yeah, I was happy when it came to
Starman.
Starman. When it came to
The Amazon.
Switch,
Amazon,
the
yeah.
online Switch, they finally brought that. My son's like, you like that game? I'm like, yeah, that game is blast.
Yeah. Did you guys
Did
did you guys ever play the WCW wrestling game on the
Yes.
Nintendo Entertainment System? That was actually really good. It was one of the
Oh,
first wrestling games I remember that actually had finishing moves. Now, they weren't all accurate, but like that just blew my mind. Like there were actual finishing moves instead of, all the wrestling games back then were so goddamn repetitive.
Yeah,
Body slam, body slam, body slam. pin.
Throw them
Yeah.
against the
That one
rope.
had voices too.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah.
Which one was that?
WCW.
Fall Brawl?
Fall Brawl was the Super Nintendo game.
Okay.
It was just WCW wrestling, I think.
Oh, I
I
gotta
think
check that
that's
out.
what it was. Yeah.
That sounds interesting, definitely.
That's cool.
The voices blew my mind, even though I mean
They weren't great.
they weren't that great. But it blew my mind. I was like, holy crap!
Yeah, it was the first Madden the Madden on Genesis that blew my mind. But he's doing play-by-play calling, and you're like, what the hell?
How does he know?
Amazing.
Yeah.
He's like, boom! What? That was great.
I still want to remind everybody that the Intellivision did have the IntelliVoice. It did have.
They talk like a robot.
Yeah, see, these guys are all talking about the Trash 80. My dad had one of those when I was a kid, and it had the voice modulator, so you could sit at the
Tandy,
keyboard
yes,
and make it
TRS
say
80.
whatever.
I made my dad told me about it. Yeah, it's just Trash 80. Yeah, the Commodore 64 is better. I'm like, okay, cool.
That was like the first real home one that anybody really had besides
Mhm.
Kit.
Remember the modem? They actually put the phone on the
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah, have you seen the stuff like my stepdad used back in the day? Like he was always on call and had like those laptops where the big CRT monitors, and you would fold it out and there'd be a crappy keyboard, and it had the modem where you had to put the phone on in the back. It was hilarious.
Good game of chess. Remember Battle Chess?
Oh
You
yeah.
guys play Battle Chess?
Well, he's referencing come on, Matthew Broderick movie.
Oh yeah, War.
Oh,
Like,
War
would you
Because
like
of
to-
the
yeah,
because
yeah,
of putting the modem down on the war games, yeah.
Yeah.
would
Would you like
yeah.
to play a game?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, would you like to play?
Yeah.
Definitely Battle
Whopper.
Chess.
An acoustic coupler. Yep.
Get him
People are
busy.
still voting. 27 votes. That's pretty good. Who's
Yes,
winning?
when I hear 2600, that's what I think of is the 2600 magazine and all those hacker mags back then.
Mm-hmm.
Phone freaking and all that stuff.
Yeah. Also known as the big red book that won't fit on the shelf. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hackers.
Hackers.
Hackers. Great movie.
Yes.
Love that movie. Todd, you still with us?
Of course I am.
What was your first system?
My first system was the Sega Master System. Got it for Christmas, and man, I had the phaser. I had all the tons of carts because at the time, Toys R Us was clearancing them all out, so I was able to pick up a lot of games that way. So, yeah, Sega Master System has a special place in my heart for sure.
Cool.
You know, it's funny. Everybody on here almost said the 2600, and Todd comes in with that. What are you, like 28 years old, Todd? I mean,
No, I am 40 years old, turning 41 this year. So,
okay, all right.
It was so bizarre first going to somebody's house and you'd be like, yeah, let's play video games. And they're like, I have a Master System. You're like, you have what? What?
yeah, I was the only one on the block that had a Master System. Everybody else had Nintendo, and they rarely wanted to come over and play the Master System. They wanted to play the Nintendo more. So, understandable, but it still has a nice place in my heart. It really does.
Yes,
We moved right after grade 6, and I still only had a NES, and I moved up to a new neighborhood and met like this whole bunch of kids, and I thought I had moved into Bizarro Land because they were like, what systems do you have? I was like, yeah, I have an NES, and they're like, yeah, we used to have that. Everybody on the road had TurboGrafx 16. Every single person.
Wow.
It was like the weirdest shit in the world.
Wow.
So you didn't make it into the club, huh?
No, but like
The
You
one block
were an outsider.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
block that you found the TurboGrafx. Was it called the TurboGrafx 16 in Canada?
Yeah, TurboGrafx 16.
It was called the Lay TurboGrafx.
TurboGrafx.
Yeah,
Now,
because
I had originally. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Just what Brandon said here. I had a Virtual Boy too. Tell someone you're rich if they had a Virtual Boy growing up. I picked up a Virtual Boy in what 94, 95. So that was pretty cool having a.
Towards their end of their life cycle, a lot of stores clearanced them out. I got a Virtual Boy, but I was not rich.
I got it for $25 at Best or Blockbuster when they were just
Toys R Us.
Get them out of here.
I tested it at Toys R Us, and then after I couldn't see anything but like the next 15 minutes.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Never gonna.
Yeah,
own one of these.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you, Mike. How many times did you play like for hours on end? And you came back from it. It wasn't like as horrible as people said it was.
No, not at all.
Really bad for me. It was bad.
It was after 15 minutes, I was like dizzy.
No, I
like,
played
I
that
see
thing
red
for
everywhere.
hours on end.
My
mom literally had to
my
throw me
eyesight's
off of
just fine.
Like a lot of games, like they didn't need to be Virtual Boy games. Like they were just sticking stuff on there for the sake of it. But like Mario Tennis for the Virtual Boy actually had the depth. Like it felt good.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
That's where it started.
Yep.
What was that other game? The gosh darn it,
Red Zone.
Yeah,
Telero Boxer?
Red Alarm.
Red Alarm,
Telero
Boxer.
Boxer was fun. Probably
Mario
the most
Flash.
Wario. Wario was probably
Wario's
the
World.
one that
I
would play that for hours on end on the.
I think there's only like 12 official games.
No, there's 14.
14?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was really low. Have you guys seen the mod where you can play it on your 3DS?
I haven't seen that. No.
So with the depth, because the
that's
3DS
cool.
That would actually be worth playing that way.
Yeah, if you mod your 3DS, they have it so you can play those games on your 3DS and you get the depth because of the 3D.
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
I haven't tried it yet, but
that.
and definitely I have one sitting around. I'm like, I'm gonna try that.
You can play it on your Ambernick too.
Not with the depth. You need the depth.
Not with the depth. Yeah.
Yeah, you need that 3D depth.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
There's depth. Stock Jock depth.
What year was this? Okay.
94.
94.
Yeah.
You were around.
94.
You were around in 94, weren't you?
I'm just trying to figure, which kid I was taking to a baseball game, a little league baseball game back then. They probably had it. I didn't. Well, no, 94.
Did you play
no,
games with your kids? Did you have any systems that your kids bought?
Yeah. I remember. We did the whole PlayStation and GameCube and all that stuff. I just didn't play a lot of them back there. What's funny is because I enjoyed video games growing up, but once I got to where I was a dad for a while, I kind of quit. But then they I don't know what happened. Rock Band came out and I went nuts over that thing. Nuts. Loved it. We had parties. We had people come over and had parties with Rock Band,
Yep.
And,
Rock Band is amazing.
And I have a buddy of mine who was actually a professional drummer, and he came over and he kept saying, "When can we come back and play?"
Yeah. So we could get the band back together.
Yeah.
that was just like for me such a special time. I had started seeing my wife, and we were at that age, like I was like 25, 26. So like we would just have random like nights where like a bunch of people would come over and we'd either be playing Wii, bowling, or all of a sudden we'd be playing Rock Band.
Yep.
And like that's when we first got the Guitar Hero. So we were all playing that. It was such a weird time because like video games became so social there for a little while.
Yeah.
My wife likes SingStar. I don't remember that.
I remember
it was a karaoke thing, but you both could sing and you can compete against each other. She loved playing that with me. I was like, that was really cool.
Karaoke Revolution was awesome. They also did like an American Idol version. That was really good.
On the Wii.
And Simon would, yell at you that you suck and all that stuff.
Did anybody here brave enough to admit that they had a Dance Dance Revolution pad? Messed around with it a little bit?
I have one.
I never did.
I still have one.
Lame.
For the GameCube, of all things.
Our kids had one. Yeah. They had one. Yep. Now that I look back, I actually really not think about it. I was a PC gamer. I never really got into the consoles back then. I was a PC gamer, hardcore. Played like Final Fantasy 11 for probably 12 years.
Nice.
And that is the only thing I ever played.
Yeah.
And then I moved over to
finish.
Yeah, well, still never finished. And then I went to play 14 because those are those massive multiplayer online games, and I played those. That's all I played. I didn't play anything else.
Yes, sir.
That had to be a massive Packard Bell for you, Stock Jock.
Yeah. No, you understand. No, the internet was around back then. You just had
We had American Online, right?
Yeah, man, we had 56K. Man.
No, this is after that, Todd. This is after. Okay, American Online was. I got in trouble with that stuff. American Online, where you just.
The minutes?
Oh, you were going into the chat rooms and getting yourself.
Well, okay. All right, you bring it up. Okay, you ready?
Uh-oh.
All right. I met my wife in an AOL chat room.
Hey, there you go.
I really did. I did. I was divorced and I got bored one night and I just went into a chat room. I'd never done it before in my life, and she was in there. I went to Florida State. And you could tell somebody was in there that she was from the University of Florida, because all this banter was going back with her. And I just somehow started chatting with her, and she's tried to sell me insurance. And come to find out, we didn't live too far apart. She lived in Tampa. I lived in Orlando. And anyway, the funny thing is, the very next night, I go, hey, I had a lot of fun doing that. So I just jumped into another chat. and back then, all you guys realize, but there were thousands of those rooms, thousands.
Oh yeah.
And and she was in there again in that same room, the very next night, or not the same, but in a different, And I just said, "Well, I guess I got my insurance from you now," and I met her. And
How much did you spend on insurance before?
Actually, she saved me a ton of money.
She was working for Progressive. It wasn't even around then.
Yeah. State Farm. She was State Farm and she got me hell of a lot better coverage and saved me a lot who you talking to? And he was like, Brian from State Farm. Well, what's he wearing?
What are you wearing, Jake?
She sounds hideous. He's a dude.
Khakis.
He sounds hideous.
Sounds hideous.
What's kind of funny is we've been playing like the MetaQuest stuff lately, and like we play virtual golf, and we'll see some of our friends in these rooms like Gatsby's 18+ bar, and I guess that's like the equivalent of chat rooms now. You go into virtual reality. And you're like, do you sell insurance? We're a match.
I don't judge. I actually met my wife on Facebook.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah. See?
And she's definitely a keeper, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So, yeah, I like to think of...
it's a lot different now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I found it weird when I met my wife. I met my wife online too. Was Lava Life. Do you guys know what that is? Anybody remember that? It was like a dating app, right?
Like Christian Mingle?
No, it's
farmers only.
Farmers only. But like I was like 25 at the time, and like I was just in a really long committed relationship, so I didn't know how to adult date. I was like, do I go to the grocery store and harass people? Like, how does this work? So, anyways, like I had dated a couple times, but like I was 25 and they were like 20 and stuff like that. And it just it wasn't right.
Yeah.
And then my wife messaged me on this Lava Life, and she was persistent, man. And so anyways, here we are, like 20 years later, 2 kids and a house. So
nice.
Yeah, time flies.
Yep.
That it does. Yep. So well, boys, we've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes, so I don't know if you want to send these nice people home. They've been hanging out with us for a really long time. I think P-Dubs would say we need to cut this one, right, Mike?
Yeah. He'd be out of breath.
I think we got another good 2-3 hours left. I don't know if we leave so early.
You're only like 7 hours ahead of us, right?
Yeah. It's 12:20 here.
12:20.
Oh wow!
You forgot the half hour there, Joel.
That's right.
And we're springing ahead Sunday. Jeez.
Yeah, we are too. We lose that hour.
Oh no, that sucks.
No.
That we do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, NES won the poll. I mean, it was like not even worth the thing. We appreciate.
Was it hard for anybody? It doesn't seem.
No, it was worth to see the journey.
Yeah. So thank you for voting for that. We appreciate that so much. So
yeah, during the week, keep checking the bracket, and we'll keep putting up polls and see what you guys think.
Yeah, we need your help to get that ultimate bracket there, and please post those in the Discord. We'd love to see them. Love to see what you guys are thinking and what your bracket would look like. So, any final thoughts before I send these nice people home?
Thank you, Mike, James, for your time.
Yes, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us.
Welcome back, Galaga guy. I missed you.
That's right.
You beautiful man. I'm glad you're back.
I like being on stream with Chaotic a lot, because every now and then he'll jump in and he'll start talking, and there's like this puff of smoke, like he's got a fog machine, like he's coming out.
Oh man. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Check us out next week. Yo Retro coming tomorrow, Chaotic?
No, but I will be on Papa Brad's show Friday playing some arcade games and pinball.
All right, fantastic.
Excellent.
Check out
Awesome.
that for sure. All right, gentlemen. Well, let me send these nice people home. Thank y'all again for hanging out with us. We will see y'all next week. Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.